Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Newshour, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 1 hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the India AI Impact Summit 2026. Extensive deliberations on future AI roadmap underline the agenda for the all-important day. Indian AI companies roll out 3 big projects at the AI Summit. Launches by Sarvam AI, Gyani AI and Bharat Gen reflect growing expertise in reasoning, coding, governance and voice cloning. South Korean court to deliver verdict on insurrection charges against former Prime Minister Yoon Suk Yeol on martial law bid in 2024. US President Donald Trump convenes inaugural meeting of the Board of Peace for Gaza in Washington after announcing $5 billion pledge for Gaza. India cruised past Netherlands to maintain perfect record at T20 World Cup with 4th win, tune up for Super 8 encounters ahead. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the India AI Impact Summit 2026 on 19th of February. That is on Thursday at Bharat Mandapam. The third day of the India AI Impact Summit saw extensive deliberations on the future roadmap of AI in charting the course of human progress. The theme of India AI Impact Summit 2026 is welfare for all, happiness of all. The next report dives deep into what happened on the third day of the summit on Wednesday. Take a look.
The third day of India AI Impact Summit is witnessing various sessions ranging from governing safe and responsible AI within digital public infrastructure, AI and education, and accelerating India's AI growth. Minister for Electronics and Information Technology Ashwini Vaishnav attended the opening ceremony of Research Symposium at Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi. Addressing the gathering, he expressed optimism about India's future while also asserting that AI must be safe and solve real-world challenges.
I am feeling really hopeful for a totally new future for our country and for the world. We in India are very focused on AI in the edge, AI for use cases, AI for solving real-world problems, AI for improving the productivity in the enterprises, AI for population scale problems like healthcare, like agriculture, like climate change. These are the things that we are focused here in India.
Prahlad Joshi, Minister for New and Renewable Energy, visited the stall of International Solar Alliance at the ongoing India AI Impact Summit. The minister not only took a tour of the stall that talks about integrating AI with electricity, but also interacted with various startups. The theme of the India AI Impact Summit 2026 is Sarvajan Hitai, Sarvajan Sukhai, that is, welfare for all, happiness of all. It aims to position India as a leader in the field of AI and envisions a future where AI advances humanity, fosters inclusive growth, and safeguards our shared planet. 7 working groups anchor the summit, aligned to 3 pillars: people, planet, and progress. These groups are working on delivering concrete outcomes, demonstrating AI's impact across sectors. The 7 themes are AI for economic growth and social good, democratizing AI resources, inclusion for social empowerment, safe and trusted AI, human capital, science, resilience, innovation, and efficiency. It also is engaging over 100 government representatives, including more than 20 heads of state and government and around 60 ministers and vice ministers. Bureau Report, DD India.
As the India AI Summit gathers momentum, Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a series of bilaterals and deep discussions with heads of states. We get to a detailed report ahead.
Prime Minister Modi and Spanish President Sanchez met in New Delhi on the sidelines of the AI Impact Summit 2026. They discussed key areas like trade, digital innovation, healthcare, and climate action to strengthen India-Spain relations. PM Modi praised Spain's support for India-EU ties and highlighted the year of culture tourism. In a bilateral meeting with Finland's Prime Minister Petteri Orpo, PM Modi thanked Finnish PM for his personal support to the India-EU FTA, which ushers in a golden era in India-Europe relations. Leaders also held talks about enhancing cooperation in futuristic technologies like 6G, innovation, clean energy, biofuels, and circular economy. Prime Minister also held extensive discussions with the Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić. The two leaders discussed avenues to strengthen bilateral cooperation in trade and investment, AI, fintech, education, agriculture, tourism, and people-to-people exchanges. They also exchanged views on regional and global issues of mutual interest. Discussion with Croatia's Prime Minister Andrej Plenković focused on advancing cooperation in new areas of mutual interest, including AI, innovation, and clean energy, among others. Both leaders agreed to work for early implementation of India-EU FTA. Prime Minister Modi appreciated deep interest of the people of Croatia in Indology, yoga, and Ayurveda. With Estonia's President Alar Karis, PM Modi reviewed various facets of India-Estonia relations, underlining the potential for further cooperation in digital technologies and deepening people-to-people ties. They welcomed historic conclusion of negotiations on the India-EU FTA. Both leaders also appreciated the adoption of joint India-European Union Comprehensive Strategic Agenda. Prime Minister Modi also held bilateral discussions with Kazakhstan's Prime Minister Oljaz Bektenov. The leaders discussed ways to strengthen strategic partnership and deepen bilateral cooperation in all sectors, including trade, defense and security, connectivity, energy, emerging technologies, and people-to-people ties. With Bhutanese Prime Minister Tshering Tobgay, Prime Minister Modi held wide range of talks on mutual and regional interests. Google CEO Sundar Pichai met Prime Minister Narendra Modi. They discussed about the work India is doing in AI and how Google can work with India's talented students and professionals in this field. PM also met co-founder of Sun Microsystems. The AI Impact Summit 2026 in New Delhi is serving as a global platform for leaders and innovators to explore the transformative potential of artificial intelligence in shaping the future. Bureau Report, DD India.
At the India AI Impact Summit 2026, content creators will take center stage with Waves Pavilion showcasing 51 startups, AI gaming and immersive AI film experience. Take a look.
The India AI Impact Summit 2026 is not only the place to visit for AI industry stakeholders, but it's also a place for the content creators. The one-of-its-kind Summit and Expo is hosting Waves Content Creators Pavilion, which is exhibiting 51 startups, AI Gaming Corner, immersive AI theatre experience where films made through AI are on display.
We have a film which is India's first AI-generated Gujarati feature film, which will have 82 AI-generated characters, and our film teaser has been selected here at Waves Creators Corner. So we are very thankful to Government of India for giving us the opportunity.
We onboard sellers who want to sell any experiences, activities, events, smooth transition. You can upload your event experience at our platform and you can be discovered across ONDC network.
We built a platform which makes it very easy for directors and for studios to make full-fledged movies that go on theaters, on television channels, on short screens, everywhere it is. This is the tool that's for creators to bring their creativity live on the big screen.
The Waves Content Creators Pavilion is not only a game changer for the content creators, but it's also an insightful experience for the visitors with various AI technologies on display. Not only this, many states have also put their pavilions on display. One of them is the Bihar Pavilion, where AI is being used to give you a home demo without physically visiting anywhere.
We have created a world's first real estate experience at our doorstep. This is a very wonderful opportunity for every AI startup to be here itself and showcasing their products. They get the excellent user validation, a lot of feedback.
The 5-day India AI Impact Summit is a wholesome experience that is working in tandem with 3 sutras: people, planet, and progress.
From creative pavilions like the Waves Creators Corner to state pavilions including Jharkhand, Bihar and others, the India AI Impact Summit 2026 has a lot to offer, not only for the states but various departments as well. With camera person Naveen, this is Deepika reporting for DD India from Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi.
India on Wednesday unveiled 3 sovereign artificial intelligence models at the India AI Impact Summit in New Delhi as domestic startups and national initiatives stepped up efforts to build homegrown alternatives to global AI systems dominated by the big tech. Bengaluru-based Sarvam AI, conversational AI firm Gyani.ai and IIT Bombay-led consortium sovereign AI initiative Bharat Gen announced a large language model and voice models designed to be trained, deployed and governed entirely within India. Let us tell you in detail about these AI models, how will they work and their benefits. Sarvam AI launched 2 large language models, a 30 billion parameter model and a $105 billion parameter model, both trained from scratch in India. The company said the larger model outperforms global systems such as DeepSeek R1 and Google's Gemini Flash on several benchmarks while using a mixture of experts architecture to reduce interference costs. The models are aimed at complex reasoning, programming and agentic AI workloads, with Sarvam positioning efficiency as central to scaling AI for population-level use. Gyani.ai unveiled Vachan TTS, a text-to-speech model capable of cloning human voices across 12 Indian languages using under 10 seconds of reference audio. Built on low bandwidth conditions and high volume usage, Vachan TTS is targeted at government services, customer support systems and large-scale enterprise deployments, with all data and models hosted within India. IIT Bombay-led consortium's Bharat Gen launched its 17 billion parameter multilingual foundational model Bharat Gen Param 2 17B mixture of experts. Param 2 17B is a mixture of experts model optimized for multiple Indic languages with a focus on enabling AI adoption across governance, education, healthcare, agriculture and enterprise use cases. This is the first major phase of the government's clear push to have India-first sovereign AI models with emphasis on local data, scale and control. The development marks a big shift in India from AI apps to core AI infrastructure. Meanwhile, heads of state continue to arrive in New Delhi to attend the India AI Impact Summit. Switzerland President Guy Parmelin arrived in New Delhi this morning. This visit will further deepen India-Switzerland partnership across diverse sectors of mutual interest. Ahead of his visit, the Swiss president expressed strong support for India's efforts to democratize AI, endorsing the broader goals of ensuring that the transformative potential of AI benefits every nation and community. He emphasized that international cooperation is essential to building a fair and inclusive AI ecosystem. You're watching DD India Newshour. We're heading for a short break, but after the break, Germany's defense minister says NATO can count on Germany as a key hub. Iran issues notice over planned rocket launches as Trump once again hints at military action. Meta CEO testifies at youth addiction trial, defends Meta's impact on mental health.
गर फिरदौस बर्रुएज़ AM IST.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Newshour. A South Korean court is set to deliver verdict on insurrection charges against former President Yoon Suk Yeol in a criminal case that could see him sentenced to death over his declaration of martial law in 2024. The sentencing on Thursday afternoon caps a year-long trial that began shortly after Yoon's attempt to put the country under military rule. Yoon was indicted last year on charges of insurrection following his abrupt decision to suspend civilian rule, a move that triggered the nation's worst constitutional crisis in decades. The short-lived decree ultimately led to his impeachment and the first ever arrest and indictment of a sitting president of South Korea. Prosecutors sought the death penalty for the ousted leader, citing threat he posed to the country's democracy and constitutional order. Thursday's ruling is one in a series of legal battles underway related to martial law. Yoon was already sentenced in January to 5 years in prison in a separate case involving other charges, including resisting arrest. Yoon's wife, Kim Kyon-hee, was also handed down a 20-month prison sentence on a bribery case last month. Last month, the court sentenced former Prime Minister Han Duck-soo to 23 years in prison for his involvement in the declaration, significantly longer than the 15-year term sought by prosecutors. In other updates, US President Donald Trump's Board of Peace is set to meet for the first time on Thursday in Washington, where he will announce that member states have pledged more than $5 billion for reconstruction and humanitarian efforts in Gaza. While House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told reporters on Wednesday that more than 20 countries would participate in the meeting, adding that member states had committed to providing thousands of personnel for an international stabilization force for Gaza.
President Trump will host a Board of Peace meeting at the Donald J. Trump Institute of Peace, where he will announce that member states have pledged more than $5 billion towards the Gaza humanitarian and reconstruction efforts, and have also committed thousands of personnel to the International Stabilization Force and local police to maintain security and peace for Gazans.
Trump signed documents in Davos, Switzerland on January 23rd, establishing the Board of Peace. The board's creation was endorsed by a United Nations Security Council resolution as part of Trump's Gaza plan. The list includes Israel and other regional heavyweights involved in ceasefire negotiations, as well as countries from outside the West Asia whose leaders support Trump or hope to gain his favor. US allies like France, Norway and Sweden have so far declined. The two-day peace talks in Geneva between Ukraine, Russia and United States concluded on Wednesday without a breakthrough. Officials from Moscow and Kyiv said that the discussions in Geneva were difficult and they could meet again. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in his nightly video address said that he was dissatisfied with the latest talks held with Russian negotiators, noting sensitive political matters had not been addressed properly. He also said it was important that European representatives were present in Geneva and described holding a next round of talks later this month as appropriate.
It is important that Europeans were present. France, Britain, Germany, Italy and Switzerland as the host country. We in Ukraine have always promoted the position that Europe must be a participant in the process. I would like to thank the United States of America for hearing this position.
While Russia's chief negotiator Vladimir Medinsky said that the US-mediated peace talks between Russia and Ukraine in Geneva had been difficult but businesslike and that a new round of talks would be held soon.
The talks lasted for 2 days. We had very long discussions yesterday in various formats. We talked about 2 hours. Talks were difficult but businesslike. A new meeting will take place soon. That is all we wanted to say.
Meanwhile, White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt said on Wednesday that the US has made meaningful progress in talks this week to bring an end to the conflict in Ukraine and more discussions are expected in the near future.
There was another round of trilateral talks between the U.S., Russia, and Ukraine. There was meaningful progress made in both parties. Both sides agreed to update their respective leaders and to continue to work towards a peace deal together. So there will be another round of talks in the future. But I think the president views this entire situation as very unfair, not just for Russians and Ukrainians who have lost their lives, but also for the American people and the American taxpayer who were footing the bill for this war effort before President Trump put a stop to it.
Germany is currently hosting NATO's Steadfast Dart 26 exercise with 10,000 soldiers from 11 nations training to respond to potential threats on the alliance's eastern flank. It is aimed at testing and training the operational deployment of the Allied reaction force. The exercise comes as security concerns have escalated in the Baltic Sea region, including increasing Russian hybrid warfare threats, damage to underwater infrastructure by Russia's shadow fleet, drone overflights and a heightened military presence in the Baltic. German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius said that the maneuvers demonstrate NATO's unity and operational readiness.
Steadfast Dart
serves to improve the planning and execution of rapid strategic deployment when it matters most. Around 10,000 soldiers from 11 nations will be training for many weeks, from January to March. If something happens to the eastern flank, NATO troops must be deployed quickly, and that means through Germany, of course. The Bundeswehr will then work with its allies to ensure the necessary response, and to be able to do so, it is essential to practice.
Verbündeten gemeinsam das gewährleisten und um das zu können, muss man's üben.
German Chancellor Friedrich Merz warned the United States against high tariffs, saying Germany and Europe will respond with high tariffs of their own. He told followers of his conservative CDU party to applaud that if the US overdid it, Europeans would be perfectly capable of defending ourselves. Though he did not give any figures, in mid-January, President Donald Trump vowed to implement a wave of increasing tariffs on European allies until the United States is allowed to buy Greenland in what was an escalating row over the future of Denmark's vast Arctic island. Merz also said that foreign policy and economic policy belong together, just as much as defense policy and domestic policy.
If they believe that tariffs are more important than taxes in their own country, then that is something that the Americans can, of course, decide for themselves. But it is not our policy. And I will say exactly that during my next visit to Washington. You can do it, but we won't go along with it. And if you overdo it, we Europeans are perfectly capable of defending ourselves.
The White House warned on Wednesday that Iran would be wise to do a deal with the United States as President Donald Trump once again hinted at military action. White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt's statement came as part of a series of veiled threats from the officials under U.S. President Trump, a day after U.S. and Iranian representatives held a second round of indirect talks this month.
I think you heard from the administration and the State Department yesterday that there was a little bit of progress made, but we're still very far apart on some issues. I believe the Iranians are expected to come back to us with some more detail in the next couple of weeks, and so the president will continue to watch how this plays out.
The two sides recently resumed indirect talks mediated by Oman after Trump repeatedly threatened military action against Iran over a deadly crackdown on protesters last month. On Wednesday, Trump again suggested the United States might strike Iran in a post on his Truth Social site, with a U.S. military buildup underway in the West Asian region. The massive U.S. military buildup in the West Asian region, including warships, fighter jets and refueling aircraft, lays the foundation for a potentially sustained campaign against Iran should President Trump give the order. Iran has issued a notice to Yemen that it plans rocket launches in areas across the south. Iran conducted Navy drills this week in the Hormuz Strait and plans to conduct a joint naval exercise with Russia on Thursday. The notice was issued amid heightened tensions with the U.S. as U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance said that Washington was weighing whether to continue diplomatic engagement with Tehran or pursue other options. US President Donald Trump said that Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer was making a big mistake by entering into a lease of the US-UK airbase in Diego Garcia. In a social media post, Trump said that it may be necessary for the US to use Diego Garcia and our airfield located in Fairford in order to eradicate a potential attack by Iran if Tehran decides not to make a deal resolving their long-standing nuclear dispute. Under the 2025 agreement, Britain will transfer sovereignty of the Chagos Islands to Mauritius while retaining control of the strategically important US-UK airbase on Diego Garcia under a 99-year lease. Denmark's King Frederik X arrived in Nuuk on Wednesday for a second visit to Greenland within a year, underscoring unity between Denmark and the Arctic territory amid renewed interest from the United States. While in Nuuk, the king met residents and greeted participants in an Arctic-based training program. He is scheduled to travel to other cities in Greenland, including Maniitsoq on Thursday and the western town of Kangerlussuaq on Friday, in fact. The visit follows the launch of diplomatic talks late last month between Greenland, Denmark and the United States aimed at easing tensions after repeated comments by US President Trump sparked strains within the NATO alliance. Denmark's government said that talks with US officials were constructive, but Washington's interest in acquiring Greenland remains unchanged. Meta Platforms CEO Mark Zuckerberg told a jury on Wednesday that Meta no longer tried to maximize the time users spend on the platform as a landmark trial over youth social media addiction continues. Zuckerberg was questioned on his statements to Congress in 2024 at a hearing where he said that Meta was no longer trying to maximize the time users spend on the platform. Zuckerberg tried to counter internal mails and documents from between 2015 and 2022 presented by the plaintiffs in the case, in which he and other Meta employees stated that boosting time spent was a goal or milestone included among teenage users. The case is one of thousands of similar lawsuits brought by families, state prosecutors and school districts currently winding their way through US courts. The lawsuits accuse Meta and other social media platforms, including TikTok, Snapchat and YouTube, of functioning in an addictive manner that ultimately has harmed many children. It was Zuckerberg's first appearance before a jury after years of rising backlash against Meta. TikTok and Snapchat, which had also been named in the lawsuit, settled shortly before trial was scheduled to begin. Terms of the settlements were not disclosed. In Nigeria, at least 38 miners died of carbon monoxide poisoning at a mining site in Central Plateau State on Wednesday. The incident occurred on early Wednesday morning when gas exploded at a pit in Kampanen Zurak mining site. 27 others were injured in the blast. Nigeria's Minister of Solid Minerals Development said that the area was an abandoned lead site with stored minerals prone to releasing toxic gases. Villagers, unaware of the toxic nature of the emissions, reportedly entered the tunnel to extract minerals and inhaled the gas. Security forces have cordoned off the site to prevent further access. The federal government has ordered the immediate shutdown of all mining activities in the affected area, pending further investigation. Romania is on high alert as snowstorms disrupted air travel, closed roads and schools and cut power to tens of thousands of people across the nation on Wednesday. Snow and blizzards swept through central, southern and eastern Romania, cutting electricity to over 166,000 homes. In the capital city of Bucharest, public transport faced major delays, with trains arriving at the central station more than 6 hours late. Several motorways and main roads across the country were also closed, with emergency crew working to restore power and clear snowed-in vehicles. You're watching DD India Newshour. We're heading for a short break, but after the break, President Murmu witnesses International Fleet Review at Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. Gujarat's village becomes a powerful example of de-addiction and social transformation. India pays rich tributes to the legendary warrior king and founder of the Maratha Empire, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Welcome back. After the break, you're watching DD India Newshour. A quick relook at the top stories now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the India AI Impact Summit 2026. Extensive deliberations on future AI roadmap underline the agenda for the all-important day. Indian AI companies roll out 3 big projects at the AI Summit. Launches by Sarvam AI, Gyani AI and Bharat Gen reflect growing expertise in reasoning, coding, governance and voice cloning. South Korean court to deliver verdict on insurrection charges against former President Yoon Suk Yeol on martial law bid in 2024. US President Trump convenes inaugural meeting of the Board of Peace for Gaza in Washington after announcing $5 billion pledge for Gaza. India cruised past Netherlands to maintain perfect record at T20 World Cup with 4th win. Tune up for Super 8 encounters ahead. As we told you, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be inaugurating the India AI Impact Summit 2026 at Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi today. The Prime Minister will participate in the opening ceremony of the summit being held for the first time in Global South. And DD India's Akhilesh Suman joins us from Bharat Mandapam. Akhilesh, good morning. We tell our viewers that the Prime Minister will be inaugurating the AI Summit, and we've seen 3 days of hectic parlays and participation by people at Bharat Mandapam. Get us more. How do we look forward to day 4 when the Prime Minister will be inaugurating the summit today?
You know that Prime Minister has already welcomed the guests from different countries who had come here in India. And in the night, welcome ceremony is over. But, you know, family photos are left. So before the inaugural summit, you know, family photos will be taken with all those leaders who have come from there. And other than that, you know, there will be Prime Minister will be taking all those leaders to the exhibition area that is called Impact Arena. And Impact Arena, he will showcase how, you know, AI experiments from different parts of the world, not only from India, but different parts of the world are doing on, you know, AI things. So I think that Prime Minister will try to showcase that how important companies in the world are trying to impress the countries of Global South, and that is why they have sent their representative and they have sent their representative material to India in this AI Impact Summit. As it is very, you know, evident that AI impact, India is telling it AI Impact Summit. So, you know, Prime Minister wants to showcase that how AI is impacting the lives of common people. And, you know, in the inaugural ceremony, he will try to, you know, put his own views that is democratizing the AI. And the main thrust of India is that AI should be for the people, not for the companies. AI, so benefits of AI should go to the common people, and that is why India is always telling, you know, Sarvajan Hitaya, Sarvajan Sukhaya, means for good of everyone, for good living of everyone. So I think this is the, you know, key theme with which India is organizing this Impact Summit. Prime Minister will also take part, and other leaders will also take part in the plenary session. And this plenary session may see the, you know, representatives of almost 500 from different parts of the world. And they are, company leaders, they are startup leaders, they are entrepreneurs, they are political representatives from 20 countries. Political representatives are coming, and this includes, very, very important delegation, including from US, including from UK, even China is sending the delegation. So I think this is going to impact, AI Summit is going to impact the whole global South, and also it should be noticed, and it will be noticed by the developed countries, that why AI should not be, and AI would not be only the property of the developed nations, but it would be property of all the countries who are developing countries, especially in the global South. So these are the things the whole day will pan up in these discussions, and there will be gala dinner also in the night when Prime Minister will host all those leaders who have come from different countries, and delegates will also take part in all the activities. Some part of the area in this Bharat Mandapam are closed today because of all delegates. If all delegates go to those areas, there will be difficulty in taking the dignitaries who have come from the governments of different parts of the world. So some part of the exhibition areas are closed, but all delegates are free to participate in different sessions that will be going on the whole day. So I think this is going to be very impactful day today, 19th of February. And this impact will be felt in not only in Global South, but also in G7,
All right, Akhilesh. So that was about the summit and also Prime Minister inaugurating the summit today. But help us understand what does the summit, bring to the world? Because AI is not something that is not being touched in other parts of the world, and also how the world today is talking of empowering through AI. When we talk of India organizing an AI summit, AI impact summit on such a scale, witnessing the participation from rest of the world as well, what is it that India offers differently to the world as compared to, how the other countries are pursuing AI? And also added to that, to what extent will this impact summit help in achieving or help in, taking India forward in its ambition of empowerment through AI?
India has two goals behind, organizing this AI Impact Summit. And earlier you might be knowing that France had, organized one summit, South Korea had organized one summit, and this is the third summit on AI. For last summit that was organized by France, they had told it AI Action Summit. And there only Prime Minister Narendra Modi had decided that, okay, India will organize AI Impact Summit. So they are trying to project France is a G7 country, that one of the members of P5 means United Nations Security Council permanent member. So they have a perspective, they have a different perspective, but India has a different perspective. That, the G7 countries think that they are the whole main countries who give modern inventions to the world. They are the precursors of all the innovations in the world. But India is trying to give the message to the world that no, it is not only the prerogative, it cannot be only the ownership of all the AI revolutions that will be going on in future days to the G7, but it will be the global South who may also lead and who may also have the equal footing on AI. So this is the whole, that you can say that there is a parallel between developed countries and global South. Global South is looking towards India, the largest population in the world, the largest democracy in the world, and fourth, one of the not one of, actually the fastest growing major economy in the world. How it is taking the whole AI revolution. And if you remember, when the computer revolution was going, India was one of the first countries who adopted the computer revolution, and our professionals went from India to different parts of the world and helped them in creating software all over the world. So I think India showcasing the AI Impact Summit and AI in Delhi, it shows that India can be on the same footing, and the fruits of AI revolution will go to also the global South. So India will be the equal partner in AI revolution in the world, and that is why Prime Minister organized, and it is going to be witnessed by 20 countries and physically, and many other countries through online and through their other means. So I think India organizing the AI summit gives a message that no technological innovation, no understanding of science and technology can be prerogative of only a few developed countries, but it will be the property of Global South also, and people of Global South can also participate in the same way as developed countries are participating. So I think that is why the theme of Sarvajan Sukhaya Sarvan Hitaya means good for all, good living for all. It is like that. So I think this is the message that India is trying to give through this global, AI impact summit by organizing in New Delhi.
All right, Akhilesh, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for joining in with those insights. Getting you other updates now, President Draupadi Murmu, as the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, reviewed the International Fleet Review 2026 at Visakhapatnam on Wednesday. 19 warships from 18 friendly foreign countries participated in this event. Vishal Baristo gets us this report from the Bay of Bengal.
At the International Fleet Review, or IFR 2026, President Draupadi Murmu's address centered around India's rising maritime stature and the theme United Through Oceans. The President emphasized the vision of mutual and holistic advancement for security and growth across regions, or Mahasagar. She reiterated India's commitment to being a preferred security partner in the Indo-Pacific.
This fleet review also takes forward India's vision of Mahasagar, which stands for mutual and historic advancement of security and growth across regions. India's approach to international relations, including the maritime domain, is guided by our ethos of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, or the world is one family. This approach reflects the wisdom that global security and growth, sustainability and stability are built through partnerships.
President Murmu highlighted India's transition into a builder's navy. She specifically lauded the indigenous aircraft carrier INS Vikrant and other homegrown warships as symbols of India's technological prowess and Atmanirbhar Bharat, or self-reliant India.
On board INS Savitri, this is the International Fleet Review, and there you can see INS Vikrant, the aircraft carrier and pride of India. But this is not the only warship participating in this fleet review. 19 warships from 18 friendly foreign countries are also participating in this fleet review. That includes the United States, Australia, Russia, Japan, Iran, Oman.
The President underlined that the large gathering of friendly foreign nations reflect India's dedication to its policy Sagar, or security and growth for all in the region. It advocates a stable, rules-based and inclusive maritime order.
Behind me, you can see the Russian Beauty, the warship from Russia that has come all the way to the Indian Ocean to participate in this fleet review. India wants to tell the world that Indian Navy is there to maintain peace in the international borders, international maritime borders. And at the same time, Indian Navy is self-reliant and ready to take on any eventuality. With cameraman Ramakant Sharma on INS Savitri, this is Vishal Baristo, DT India.
Panchcha village in Mehsana district of Gujarat is emerging as a powerful example of social transformation through collective resolve. After a series of tragic incidents linked to alcohol addiction, villagers came together in a Gram Sabha and unanimously decided to make the village addiction-free. We tell you how it was done in our next report. Take a look.
Panchcha village in Mehsana district of Gujarat is carving out a new identity for itself. Over the past few years, the untimely deaths of several youth due to alcohol addiction deeply shook the entire community. Grieving the loss of their loved ones, villagers convened a Gram Sabha meeting on December 16, 2025, where a unanimous decision was taken to make the village addiction-free.
Earlier, I used to consume alcohol occasionally, but it was never a permanent habit. Now my condition has improved significantly, and all my family members are happy. People from nearby villages also used to come here earlier, but after the strict enforcement of the ban, all such activities have stopped. Our villagers have now achieved complete prohibition.
As part of the initiative, a special enclosure was constructed in the village. Anyone found consuming alcohol in public, appearing intoxicated, or entering the village after drinking is kept in the enclosure and later handed over to the police. The Prohibition Committee and the Gram Panchayat also carry out periodic surveillance using drones. As a result of these efforts, more than 50 people have given up alcohol addiction so far.
There has been a noticeable change in the village. People no longer come here after consuming alcohol, and incidents of misconduct have also reduced. The decision to enforce prohibition has proven to be a positive step, helping create a better environment for children and the community.
When the pain caused by tragic incidents transforms into collective resolve, positive change follows. Panchcha village has emerged as a model of de-addiction and social awareness.
Food Corporation of India and World Food Programme on Wednesday signed a memorandum of understanding for the supply of rice in support of global humanitarian operations aimed at combating hunger. The Union Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution has informed that FCI will supply 2 lakh metric tons of rice to the World Food Programme under the agreement signed. The MOU will be valid for a period of 5 years from the date of signing and may be extended by mutual consent. The agreement showcases India's resolve to ensure no one goes hungry. India pays rich tributes to the legendary warrior king and founder of the Maratha Empire, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, on his 396th birth anniversary today. Born in 1630 at the historic Shivneri Fort, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj emerged as one of India's greatest military strategists and nation builders. At a time when large parts of the subcontinent were under imperial domination, he envisioned and established self-ruled kingdom rooted in justice, welfare and indigenous governance. He is also credited with building one of India's earliest naval forces, recognizing the strategic importance of coastal security. Today, on his birth anniversary, celebrations are being held with great fervour, especially across Maharashtra, marking the enduring legacy of the visionary ruler. Ramadan, the Muslim month of fasting, begins on Thursday with the sighting of the crescent on Wednesday night. Ramadan is observed by Muslims worldwide as a month of fasting, prayer, reflection and community. During this period, devotees fast from dawn to sunset and engage in increased spiritual activities, including special nightly prayers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday extended greetings to the Muslim community on the occasion of Ramadan, wishing for peace and prosperity during the holy month. In a post on X, the Prime Minister expressed hopes for togetherness in the holy month. Let's get to sports updates now. Talking of cricket, India beat the Netherlands by 17 runs in their final T20 World Cup group match in Ahmedabad as the co-hosts and defending champions maintained their perfect record heading into the Super 8 stage. After winning the toss and opting to bat, India posted 193 runs for the loss of 6 wickets on the back of Shivam Dube's 66 runs off 31 balls in the middle order, while Logan van Beek finished with a figure of 3 wickets. In response, the already eliminated Dutch side managed only 176 runs for the loss of 7 wickets after Varun Chakravarti picked up 3 wickets for just 14 runs, while Dube also took 2 wickets to win the Player of the Match award. But a tough test awaits the co-hosts on Sunday when they face South Africa. India finished top of their group but need to fix holes in their batting, including the form of opener Abhishek Sharma, who fell for his third straight duck in the tournament. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and global leaders attending the India AI Impact Summit 2026 immersed themselves in a vibrant display of India's rich cultural traditions during a special dinner and cultural program at Bharat Mandapam on Wednesday. Prime Minister said the cultural program showcased India's rich heritage and tradition. With that, we end this edition of DD India News Hour, but news and updates continue on the channel. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.